DC's Justice League has finally arrived, and it looks like it's the next rotten DCEU movie, showing that DC still doesn't have it. Now, while the common commenter may believe that DC is copying Marvel, I'll say no way Jose to that. So, Justice League is directed by Joss Whedon, the same guy who directed Marvel's Avengers, and includes music composed by Danny Elfman, the same guy who did the Avengers 2 music. Whoa, wait a second. It's still technically labeled as a Zack Snyder film. Justice League is about Bruce Wayne changing his dark, murderous ways and is inspired by Superman's death to live out his legacy. Batfleck is now working to assemble, unite the League of superpowered people that he's been stalking through the leaked low-quality videos. Wonder Woman is also there to help him because she's the only hope that DC has at this point. You're probably wondering why they need this League of Justice. Well, to put it the simple way, a big bad dude wants to rule/destroy the world. Nothing we've ever seen before. So no spoilers at all whatsoever today for this big release, or something that was at least supposed to be a big release. So here we go into the non-spoiler review. Alright, so Justice League was certainly decent. You can tell how hard this film is striving to overcome the problems of the previous run DCEU movies. They aim for a kind of lighter tone, just like they did with Suicide Squad, and unfortunately, just like Suicide Squad, I feel like it's a mixed bag of tones, which doesn't end good in the final picture. But there are some pretty funny parts, or I should say quick bits of funny dialogue. As you can expect from the trailers, The Flash is the comedy relief of the film, and I appreciate that. And then Aquaman tried to make Aquaman cool, but just, nice try. Cyborg is, well, he's kind of just there. They tried a decent amount to make you feel bad for what he went through and whatnot, but I personally didn't care for him as much as the film went on. And then we have Wonder Woman. Yeah, she was just fine in the film. Seeing her pushed in the background was done okay-ly, because that's a word. Batman was pretty much the star of the film, and I guess Batfleck at least puts some effort in his role. And then there's Superman. Sorry, no spoilers, right? No way Superman's in this film. He's dead. How can he possibly be in it? And then we have Lois Lane, and her role is pretty lame, as she just has a few moments to show that she still cares and misses Superman. Good for her, I guess. So there's all the characters. Oh wait, right, there was a villain in there somewhere to talk about. Alright, so Justice League is aiming for more of a fun ride, just like Marvel, but the aspect for Marvel films that they've really nailed solid is the villain, and that's not a good thing. Introducing a lame in-movie DC villain, Steppenwolf. He's powerful, sure, but as a character, I really don't care about him. He's just there because the film needed a plot of some sort. Yeah, now for the plot. Well, some very spoiler-filled stuff that I'm not going to talk about here was saved for the plot reveals in the movie. Yes, while there were 1,000 trailers like 30 minutes long, they actually kept some stuff under the wraps. I definitely like some of the subplots that added just a little more to the film and some of the turns it took. However, you gotta say the big plot is just another typical superhero blockbuster film. Speaking of which, how about that CGI? Now, there's a real takeaway from the film. So much CGI is in this, it's really ridiculous. Every problem the special effects team faced, their solution was CGI. Henry Cavill doesn't want to shave his beard for this role? No problem, we'll just use CGI. Yeah, you can imagine that went well. So much expensive CGI was used, and yet it ends up looking cheap and flat out bad. Either use CGI good or don't use it at all. So I suppose that's all the major parts of the film to discuss. Now for the conclusion. So the film is pretty entertaining, and it's got its moments. Of course, though, it's still got many unfortunate flaws mixed into fun, and the only thing I have to say is it's definitely a film worth watching. Some last-minute bonus info to share with y'all. There are 2 credit scenes, which is great. Also, the soundtrack has some great Easter eggs, as are there a few cool superhero cameos in the movie. And also, I think it's worth mentioning, you could tell from the trailers, there's like a bunch of footage that they worked with. It was literally like almost 3 hours, and they trimmed it down to a 2-hour movie. I feel like we're going to get another extended version, which DC seems to keep doing for, all that sweet cash. And then finally, it's worth mentioning that this movie is getting a lot of negative reviews, but it's well worth noting how much more the audience likes it than the critics. So, ultimately, typical DCE movie. Bravo! Bye!